Right now at noon, early in-person voting gets underway in part of the 4 states.
And today is going to be sunny and in the 70s, but we do have rain chances in the forecast.
Plus, a Carthage man pleads guilty to a fatal DWI crash in Joplin in 2022.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Carthage man pleads guilty for his role in a fatal DWI crash that happened more than 2 years ago. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Joseph Hill was 19 years old at the time of the crash in July 2022. Now, Joplin police say he was driving under the influence when he overturned near Grand Falls in Joplin. The crash killed 19-year-old Keenan Reed, and a third person in the vehicle was taken to the hospital. The Joplin Police Department arrested Hill after determining he was intoxicated while driving. Now, prosecutors originally charged Hill with DWI, death of another, assault in second degree, and driving while revoked or suspended. Now, as part of the plea deal, the second and third charges were dismissed. Hill's sentencing is scheduled for January. Now, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at the forecast.
Well, it's shaping up to be a pretty good day today. So far, about 75 degrees out in Joplin and low 70s in Pittsburgh. So overall, we're getting warmer. We're really only reaching upper 70s today, especially in the central and northern counties. Winds have started to gust up to 20 miles per hour. They're going to continue to pick up as we head into the evening as well. But overall, it's a nice day. Winds shifted this morning, and we're having those stronger wind gusts behind that front, but we don't have any clouds or rain in our area, at least not right now. But we will have some rain chances kicking up tomorrow as we head into the evening. We've got a slight chance for a couple showers in the morning, but by Thursday evening and into early Friday morning, we're going to see that spike all the way up to some scattered showers as another frontal boundary passes again Thursday evening. But we'll talk about all those details coming up.
Campaigns and plenty of people are already casting their votes. A no-excuse absentee voting began yesterday in Missouri. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to some early voters in Jasper County.
It is the most important election I've ever voted in.
Lisa Kafer is one of the people getting a head start on voting in Missouri.
It's been weighing heavy on my heart, and I wanted to just make that happen as quick as I possibly could.
Dwayne Frazier is also taking advantage of no excuse early voting because he says he wants to avoid the long lines on Election Day.
I think everybody needs to vote, and that's the reason why I'm down here early, so I won't have to stand in line.
So far in Jasper County, 2,112 people have done a walk-in vote.
But October 22nd begins no excuse absentee voting, which will continue through November 4th.
Get in your car, come to the courthouse, the courts building in Joplin. It takes a few minutes and you're on your way.
Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis wants to remind people that early voting is a secure way to vote.
This is the most secure way because number one, we do check your photo ID.
Whether people cast their votes early or wait until November 5th, they need to bring an acceptable form of ID, including a Missouri driver or non-driver's license, military ID, or a U.S. passport. Reporting in Jasper County, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Election officials do ask that voters do not wear any political attire like hats or buttons at the polling location. And early in-person voting is well underway in Kansas as well. In some places, it began Saturday. The voters cast ballots at the Bicknell Center in Pittsburgh yesterday, where a poll worker says turnout was well ahead what they typically see for early voting. Early polling locations will change from day to day in various Kansas counties. And when you head to the polls this November, you'll see a lot of names on your ballot. But we want to help you learn more about the candidates you'll be voting for this time, those running for Crawford County Sheriff. Danny Smith is running for re-election after being sworn into the position in April 2019. Now, Smith is being opposed by Billy Tomasi, who has more than 30 years of law enforcement experience, most recently as a deputy in Crawford County, serving as a school resource officer. Both candidates say the one thing they hope to address is area struggles with drugs.
If deputies are doing traffic enforcement or working investigations, they're going to come across these cases, and they're going to make their arrests and try to get those drugs off our streets.
We still have a homeless population. Has to do with the drugs and has to do with mental health. And we got to get out there and get them both help for the addiction and the mental health. And you got to start. You can't just wait for them to come to you.
The voters will cast their ballots for Crawford County Sheriff November 5th. And you can hear more from both candidates on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And to find voting information for your area, just scan this QR code. It'll take you to election resources on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com, and you'll be able to find all sorts of election info, including polling places and schedules. Well, the major presidential candidates are in the battleground states as Vice President Kamala Harris heads to Pennsylvania, while former President Donald Trump campaigns in Georgia. Now, his campaign is dismissing an interview Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, gave to the New York Times. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
The Trump campaign is pushing back against a New York Times interview with the former president's chief of staff, John Kelly.
He's certainly an authoritarian. Admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, for sure.
The retired general also said Trump demands loyalty to himself over the Constitution, and in response to Trump's recent comments about using the military against domestic opponents, Kelly said advisors repeatedly told Trump not to do that.
Originally, the conversation would be, Mr. President, that's outside your authority, or, that's a routine use. You really don't want to do that inside the United States. But now that he's talking about it as I'm going to do it, it's disturbing.
A Trump campaign spokesperson dismissed the interview and told the Times Kelly had, quote, beclowned himself.
Back in August, Trump called Kelly, quote, dumb and a weak bully. Last night on the campaign trail, the former president made more disparaging comments about other retired generals who served in his administration.
What a stupid group of people they were. Mattis, Milley.
On the Democratic side, vice presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz cast his ballot in Minnesota Wednesday morning.
John Kelly's, who I thank for showing the courage to come forward, truly telling the world, those closest to Donald Trump, know how dangerous he is.
Tuesday night, the Harris-Walz ticket got an assist from former President Barack Obama, who rallied in Detroit with Eminem. Tomorrow, Obama will rally with Vice President Kamala Harris for the first time in Atlanta. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, this weekend, Harris will rally with Michelle Obama in Michigan. Coming up, some students in McDonald County received training on how to handle a school bus emergency. And later, we're making 5-star pumpkin bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The McDonald County, Missouri School District rolled into National School Bus Safety Week with a unique and hands-on training exercise. Now, the new program, Bus Helpers, empowers selected students to assist bus drivers in the case of an emergency. Now, with parental permission and approval from school personnel, these students received training on critical emergency procedures, including how to stop the bus, use the radio, and operate the safety equipment on board.
Students are selected by the driver himself as responsible students that are willing to help with that in case of emergency. So yes, they're hand selected by the drivers.
Now, the training is part of the district's ongoing efforts to create a safer environment for all students during transportation. Well, Special Olympics of Southeast Kansas today hosted its second ever Senior Unified Olympics in Pittsburgh. The event is a partnership with Special Olympics, Medical Lodges Incorporated, and Dr. Covert Miller's Therapeutic Recreation Interventions for Older Adults class at Pittsburgh State University. Now, athletes 45 years and up were paired with a partner from a senior home around the area and a volunteer to participate in low-impact sports events, which included cornhole, bocce, and relay walks.
It's really all about inclusion, but more so socialization and relationship building within the generations, within the college, within the nursing homes, within our athletes.
Today's event theme was Through the Decades. Well, the Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas draws thousands of visitors every year with its showcase of Southeast Kansas mining history. But a federal program will allow the museum to improve its preservation efforts. CAPS, the Collection Assessment for Preservation, is a federal assessment program designed to work with and evaluate museums' preservation efforts. Now, museum personnel say they welcomed the assistance. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you're not sure when you should be using canned pumpkin versus pumpkin pie filling, we're here to help you out. We'll also be sharing a to die for pumpkin recipe.
After a great day today, we do have rain chances in the forecast, and I'll talk about that right after the break. Well, overall, it's going to be a great day today. Temperatures have dropped a little bit due to a wind shift line earlier today, and it's going to be mostly sunny outside too. Let's go ahead and we can take a look outside. Downtown Pittsburgh, sunny skies, clear skies all day long. We do have winds though, gusting up to 20-25 miles per hour throughout the day, but it's going to be much cooler today than it was yesterday. Temperatures got up to about 87 for our high, which was a record that beat out the previous records set back in 1947, and even our low temperatures are 15 degrees above what they should be this time of year. Now, we've been expecting that. Temperatures have been above average this season, and they're going to continue to do so, but we do have a couple chances of some cool downs in this week's forecast. Today, we did have that wind shift line, but no clouds, no rain along that boundary. It's not the same for tomorrow, though. We do have cooler temperatures moving in through the weekend after a little bit of a warm up. Today we're getting up to upper 70s out Joplin, Oswego, Pittsburgh, 80 in Miami, 82 in Veneta, 83 in Groves. We're warming up in the southern counties a little bit more. Northern counties 74 in Fort Scott, 73 in Nevada, so much cooler up in the north. Now, planning your evening by 6 p.m. we're already down into the mid to upper 70s, dropping down to lower 60s by midnight. And then our overnight low dropping down to mid to upper 50s. Now we do have those winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour throughout the rest of the day today and into the evening. And then you're going to start to see winds shifting from the north now out of the south-southeast. And that's going to continue through the morning. Winds pick up as we head into Thursday, gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour throughout the entire day on Thursday. So it's going to be a very windy day all the way through the evening time, which is when that second boundary moves in. You can see winds are out of the south by 8 p.m. on Thursday. And then here comes that frontal boundary that's pushing in. Winds die down right along the boundary and then pick back up from the north. And that's going to cool us down at least for the weekend. Now, today we had a dry boundary, but tomorrow, not so much. As we head into the morning, we're going to have a couple of isolated shower chances. This is going to be really early, all the way until you wake up and go to school, go to work. So you can see out near Pittsburgh, Girard, Columbus, a nice little isolated shower that kind of moves north of Joplin, maybe the Carl Junction, Carthage area, Lamar. And that's going to continue on out of our area by about 10 a.m. Then we're having a mostly clear day until the evening time. Temperatures reaching upper 80s because we warm up really quickly, but we've got another boundary moving in. The main threat for thunderstorms is going to be mostly north and northeast of Kansas City, though that boundary drapes all the way across our area. So a few showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two is still possible for our area. This is happening after about 9 p.m. And you can see by the time it moves into our area, it kind of dies down, but we will still get a few showers and again, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. There's like a little stronger patch that's just east of Joplin by about 1:30 in the morning. So it's going to be overnight showers and thunderstorm chances. And then it cools us off again for the weekend, back down into the 70s and sunny. Now we've got 80 degrees by Monday and Tuesday, and then another frontal boundary with some actual chances of heavier rain as we move into Wednesday and clearing out by Halloween morning, just in time to have a great afternoon.
All right, well, stick around. We're making 5-star pumpkin bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, wait till you get a taste of this pumpkin bread with cream cheese in the batter. You know it's going to be super moist and delicious. Today's Mr. Food recipe is the perfect fall treat as Howard's making 5-star pumpkin bread in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
You know, this is the time of year when we start craving anything and everything with pumpkin in it. And that means we often find ourselves at the store staring at the canned pumpkin, wondering if we should buy pure pumpkin or pumpkin pie filling. Lucky for you, we're here to help. Pure pumpkin is, just as it says, it's simply pie pumpkins that have been cooked down with no spices added. This is used when our recipe calls for us to add spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. On the other hand, pumpkin pie filling is the same cooked and mashed pumpkin, but it's loaded with a bunch of fall spices, which at times is really convenient. Since we're on a pumpkin kick, I can't think of anything better to make than our easy pumpkin bread. We start with canned pure pumpkin since we'll be adding lots of cinnamon and ground cloves to our batter. And because this recipe makes 2 loaves, you can keep one for yourself and wrap the other one up to share with a fellow pumpkin lover. To get the recipe for our 5-star pumpkin bread, you know what to do. Visit our website. I promise you won't be disappointed. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a purely pumpkin way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, overall, today's going to be a great day. Sunny skies, temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s. Tomorrow, we warm up to the upper 80s across the region, plus some isolated shower chances in the morning and a frontal boundary moving in later in the evening, cooling us down for the weekend and bringing some more rain chances.
Alrighty, well, you know, beautiful day today, and hopefully we can get some rain. We really need it.
Definitely, we really do.
Yes, thanks, Lindsay. And Dowd here for us later on.
A lot's coming up at 5. For starters, CDC says some McDonald's quarter pounders could be making people sick. Burgers from some locations have been connected to more than 4 dozen E. coli infections. At least one person has died. Others are hospitalized. Plus, a look at how educators in the 4 states are teaching their students about the upcoming election. And staff with the Joplin Regional Airport are conducting a full-scale emergency exercise to ensure the readiness of local emergency responders and airport personnel in case of an aviation-related emergency. Those stories, a whole lot more, of course, it's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
All right, lots to look forward to. Thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.